About 5 years ago, we met a family, Eduardo Lázaro. We call him Lalo, and his wife. Beautiful family, sweet people. And we definitely saw a desire for them to know more about Christ. And it was through Bible lessons and Bible studies that they came to the knowledge of Christ as their Savior. And just a few months ago, I had the opportunity to go to Mexico, spend some time with him and the other members of the congregation. And I just set him apart, and we were talking about things in his life, his personal spiritual growth. So I looked at him and I said, Lalo, would you consider becoming a pastor one day?
Para largo plazo, ¿tienes alguna visión de algún día poder servir como pastor o algo que Dios te ponga en el ministerio?
He looked at me and he said, absolutely. I want to one day be a pastor. I want to one day serve Christ in the ministry.
Entonces dije, pues quiero seguir aprendiendo para un día ir y compartir a ellos de lo que Dios que ha hecho en nuestras vidas.
The only one thing he said is, I don't have anybody to come and train us, and I don't have anyone to come and show me how to be a pastor and what do I need to do. At that point, I realized that God was not only calling me to plant churches in Mexico City, but sharing my ability to teach others and train others to do what I'm doing. I grew up in Mexico City. I was saved when I was 12 years old in a youth camp in Veracruz, Mexico. And just to think that I'm going to have the privilege to plant churches there and share the gospel to my own people, I'm just very excited about that.
I was saved when I was 12 years old at Grace Baptist Church in West Columbia, South Carolina. Through several missions conferences and missions trips that I had the privilege to take, the Lord really burdened my heart for missions, especially to the Spanish-speaking people. I'm very excited to see how the Lord will use our family in Mexico City.
Una, dos, tres. Dos, y... My wife Rebecca and I have a beautiful 2-year-old daughter, Natanya, and we're expecting the arrival of our son later this year. I hope that my kids one day want to serve Christ because of their experience in being with us as we're in the ministry also. And I hope that they can be totally excited and happy, and that they can see in their parents a true Christian life, so that they can also want to do that one day. We invited Paul, Silas, and Timothy to stay in her home. My wife and I have been serving at Pensacola Baptist Temple. For the last 3 years, we've been teaching the primary Sunday school class. It's been a blessing to see the kids grow spiritually, physically. Good. 2 Peter, 3 John, Jude, and Revelation. Welcome to Pensacola Baptist Temple this very special Sunday morning. I also have the privilege to be the music director at Pensacola Baptist Temple. I am in charge of the choir, the congregational singing, and it's been a blessing to be part of the ministry team. Working in this ministry has prepared us to go and serve in Mexico City. Mexico City is a beautiful place. It's a gorgeous place. It's beautiful palaces, beautiful structures, and it's a great place. It's very crowded. We have about 21 million people in Mexico City. It's a humongous city. It's a very religious society. They are traditionally Catholic, and they will not let that tradition go easily. Mexico, it's very family oriented, and that helps usually because when you reach one family, usually you can enter in other parts of the family to uncles and relatives, and so that is definitely a good opportunity for us as missionaries when we go there. My wife and I are going to Mexico to plant churches. That's our main focus. And as we do that, we want to establish seminaries and Bible institutes so they can be fully trained. So we want to train them, we want to prepare them, we want to take them with us as we are planting churches, and then turn the churches over to them so they can do the same. As we plant churches, we will use 2 main aspects to help our evangelism efforts. One of them is Christian education, and we will base that on only 2 subjects, English and music. Mexicans are eager to learn English, and if we can use this subject as a means to evangelism, the kids and eventually their families, it's going to be very successful. We know that. And then music, there's not that much desire in Mexico to send your kids to music lessons because it's very expensive. So we know that if we can offer music lessons for free, we know that it's going to be extremely successful and a great way to reach kids and their families as well. I often say this, I do not seek for financial support, I long for ministry partnership, because financial support will help meet our basic needs, but ministry partnership is critical for ministry success. And so we are seeking for churches, we're longing for churches that are willing to become involved in our ministry, constantly encouraging their members to visit our ministry, reminding their young people to think about our ministry, to consider the opportunity to go there. We're looking for churches that have a desire and passion for souls, that they rejoice with us when we tell them that someone got saved. We're looking for those kind of churches that partner with us and we work for the same goal. Not only a check every month, and not only a prayer letter that we send, but a ministry partnership that is essential for success. I know the vision is challenging, but the command has been given. So for the sake of the gospel, will you partner with us as we plant the seed in Mexico?